Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think, gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Taco Charlton able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
There we go. Back man. 120.
From the gun, it's Wentz. He's got his man. It's Brandon Coleman. Brandon Coleman past the 20. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drop.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Here we go.
To throw, it's Wentz. And this is incomplete. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Go, go. 120. What's that?
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down.
Well, that's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he could put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch, he'll get the yardage, but he doesn't get what he really wants.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
One thing he does very well, he takes care of the football. Had 176 pass attempts to start his career without an interception. That's the most in NFL history. And finished his rookie year, 23 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Hey, here we go. 26.
Prescott to throw it. Ebron caught left side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
47.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Jordan Hicks battled a lot of injuries while at the University of Texas, but his last season there played up to the potential they saw when he was coming out of high school. Well over 100 tackles, ranged from sideline to sideline, could also drop into pass coverage, and now uses his intelligence to run the entire Philadelphia Eagles defense from the middle linebacker position.
Count. Hey, here we go. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Here we go. 180.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. And he connects with Ebron. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Nice play, baby. Nice play. Four down. Check. There we go. Wide 80. 160.
A first down throw for Prescott. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 points?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. And now the defense for Dallas.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. He played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On second down, here's Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. I think defensively you're okay with that. And you're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long?
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Here we go. Lady!
Working from the gun, Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
He'll field this at the 5. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They give to Elliott, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
They keep on the ground with Elliott, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The give is to Elliott. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, third and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
So 1 quarter in the books here on our first Sunday night telecast of the year. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And Wilson has it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This is Elliott. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A second down throw for Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Prescott now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And we can say hello to the new NFL rushing king as he has just passed Emmitt Smith's mark of over 18,000 yards. What a privilege to witness this here.
Oh, Brandon, this is terrific. We're here. We get to see it live. We get to call it and see a new king emerge. A fantastic day, a tip of the cap, and congratulations.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Elliott. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Cowboys on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5.
Awesome.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. This will be caught at about the 5. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Now Prescott on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And that will force a turnover on downs. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Now it's a jive. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
But the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And take it right on the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
4 down. Here we go. Wide in. 26.
1st down, Prescott. And this one complete to Reed. And they'll get this down to the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Prescott on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive, 4 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. Waiting!
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Don't go. Waiting!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Wentz going to throw. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Hey, here we go. Waiting!
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try to mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Here we go. 180.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. And that's incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go. 120.
Here's Ajayi. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 1:57 to go in this 1st half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. On play action, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go. Wide 8.
Prescott yet again. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Here we go. Wide 8.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Here we go. 120.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1.
Come on now. Let's go.
So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was the visiting Texans who were able to come away with the road victory. The Texans with the best possible start to their season, a road victory in the opener. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. The Saints get off to a hot start as they get the road victory in their opener. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away, now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Hurts has it left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run with a jab. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the off linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
There we go, back man. 20!
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Lambeau will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
It's coming now. There we go. Wide.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Finding room inside the 40. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And finally down at the 36-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of it.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 36 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start out on the ground with a Ajayi. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go. Waiting.
They run with Ajayi. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now Prescott. Flush to his right. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
46.
Second down, Prescott. Ebron caught left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Let's take.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, we're going 47. 26.
They go play action here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's second down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
4 down. Here we go.
Now Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Hey, Sway. Hey, here we go. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott sliding out of the pocket. Complete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Cowboys on third down.
Awesome.
They've been very good. 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
4 down. 26.
Prescott off play action. On the crossing route, complete. That's Chambers. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go.
Again, it's Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Play action now. Prescott. Flushed out right. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Prescott from the gun. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
And the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Play action. Now Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Go. 120!
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Alert! Here we go. 180! What's that?
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go. Back man. 120!
Now Wentz. Got to have this one. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And out now come the Cowboys. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run with Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it with Elliott. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there.
Here we go.
It's a keeper with Prescott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Extra point good by Prater, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Breaks over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st down, Wentz. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This is Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. 180!
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Brandon Coleman from 6 yards away. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you, someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Hey, 4 down. 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Chambers. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we're going to 54. Wide in. Here we're going 47. 47. 26.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And Wilson has it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there, 15 yards. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Here we go.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Here we go. Here we go.
To throw is Prescott. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. David Irving. Breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Turnover. That's what we do.
After reviewing the play, the rule on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York taking a look at the play. Less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. There's one last drive here for Pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. His throw incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Prater on to add the extra point. Prater for the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Wentz now on first down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Come on now. Come on
so
now.
From the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One final try now for Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it, because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Cowboys, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis